These beachcombers are super fun to ride. Hi, I'm John. Today we're gonna be working on changing a bike tire. Anitra and I were walking around Cape May and we came across this beach cruiser. We've been wanting beach cruisers for a while and somebody was throwing it out. It's a little rusty, but overall in pretty good shape. The back hub will have to be rebuilt, but the front tire just needs a tube, so we're gonna work on that today. So I'll just give you overall the bike. You can kind of see the hub is, there's some rust in it, but overall it's pretty good. Back tire pumped up, and the back tire pumped up and it was fine, so we're just gonna go work on replacing the front tire. This one does not have a quick release, so there was a lot of rust on it, so I sprayed it with PB Blaster, the nuts, to get it off. So some bikes may have a quick release and a front brake, so you can Google that or look at how to do that, and at another time I may do that video also. Because my road bike and my mountain bike have that, so you have to disconnect the brakes, or depending upon what type of braking system you have, if it's hydraulics, you just have to slide it out, make sure that you don't hit the brake lever, because then the hydraulic brakes will actually compress and it's a pain to get the pads to back off again. So what I like to do is I'm gonna actually do it on the grass. So I flipped the bike over, and you just want to make sure it's on a padded area, something like that, so you're not scuffing up your seat or the handlebars. Okay, like I said, I ended up spraying PB Blaster on the nuts. You can see they're pretty rusty. Okay, so I will start by unscrewing. Ideally, you like to have an adjustable wrench. We are in Cape May, and all I have are some vice grips. So I will make it work, and just going to be very ginger with it so I don't mar up the bolt. Okay, that actually came loose pretty good. Okay, side two. There's some washers in here. I don't know if you can see. There's some washers in here, so you just have to get them out past this lip to get the tire off. So the tire comes off. Again, if you have a brake on the front, this just has a coaster brake on the back. So if you have a brake on the front, you have to take that apart, and then the quick release is actually easier than having to use a wrench on the tire. Okay, so I took the tire off, and if you look at the sidewall of the tire, it will tell you the size of the tube that you need to purchase. So there you can see the inflate to 40 to 60 psi, and you just go around, and if you look, it is a 26 by 2.125. So we actually had one from another bike, but if you look, this is a 26 1.75 to 2.125. So it'll fit, 26 is the circumference of the wheel. It's a 26-inch wheel, and then the tube is how much it inflates. So it will inflate. You can use it in a 1.75 to a 2.25. Some tires are different. So some of the mountain bike tires now are bigger. There's different types, so it will tell you that on the side of the tire wall. Next step is going to be using tire irons, which you can purchase at Walmart or anywhere on the web, under $10, you know, probably about $7-8, and so they help you get the metal bead off of the rim. Okay, I like to start with the tire lever opposite of the valve. It just gives you a little bit more space to work around, and then I work towards the valve. So these are what the tire lever looks like. There's a hook on the end, and then a little bit. So start on the opposite side. Place the tire lever up in the bead. So you can see it's up and underneath the bead. You use that hook on one of the spokes, and then that holds it. Then you grab your second tire iron. And start it a little bit farther down, and then pop it, and then you just start to go around the tire, and this pulls it off the tire bead and allows you access to the tube. Okay, so I leave the one side on so it's easier to just get it back on. Unscrew the valve cap, push the valve cap through, or I'm sorry, push the valve stem through, and then pull your tire, or excuse me, then you pull your tube out. This one's actually really sandy. It's kind of funny. And that could be just from sitting, because it was sitting and the sand blew in there. So then what I do is I take my hand and put it on the inside just to make sure there's nothing sharp, and run it through. Okay. Next step is take out your tube. And I actually put a little bit of air in it. It makes it a little bit easier. Not too much, just enough to form it into the circle of your tire. So that's it. Not too much. I mean, I think it was like 4 or 5 pumps, but you can see that it's completely round. It just makes it a little bit easier to slide it into the tire. Okay, so we have the tire set, and then we just align the valve with the hole for the valve, which you can see is right here. So I usually just align that, and then I start to slide this, and I'll start with the valve. Slide that in. And then get the valve in, then work my tire around. Or I'm sorry, work the tube around. And I'll put the tire cap, or the valve stem cap, back on just so it holds in place. So I start by the valve stem to get the tire bead started, and then start working my way around in both directions. And this tire actually has enough space to work around the rim. Sometimes what you'll need to do is actually use the tire iron and slide it up and under and push the tire bead around because it's so tight. Usually with road bikes and some of the mountain bikes, it's like that also. Okay, so then next step, unscrew the cap and then inflate the tire to 40 psi. Okay, so then we put the tire back on. Sometimes on the tire itself, there's a directional arrow. These are universal, so I'm just going to put it back exactly the same way that it was on. And what I do is I just make sure that the lettering and the tire size is on the same side, front to back. Okay, you don't want to over tighten these because what it can do is it can compress the hub and then you have a whole other ball game. So you just want you want them to be snug but not over tight. So once it starts to get tight, just give it maybe another 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn and then you're good to go. All right, now the fun part. These beachcombers are super fun to ride. They're just, you're nice and upright, got some shocks in the seat, and super chill compared to a road bike or a mountain bike. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and a thumbs up. If not, whatever, it's all good. Catch you later.